According to Norse mythology, long, long ago, before the earth and the sky, before the sun and the moon, there was nothing but a vast, empty void. This was Ginnungagap, the yawning chasm. To the north lay Niflheim, a realm of ice, mist, and biting cold. 11 poisonous rivers flowed from its spring, Hvergelmir. To the south lay Muspelheim, a land of fire and intense heat. It was guarded by Surt, a giant wreathed in flame. The icy rivers of Niflheim flowed south into the void, while the hot winds and sparks of Muspelheim blew northward. Where the ice and fire met in Ginnungagap, a strange reaction occurred. The ice began to melt, and from the mingling of heat and cold, life arose. From the melting ice, the first being took shape. This was Ymir, a giant, the ancestor of all frost giants. Ymir was neither male nor female, but both. As he slept, life sprang from his body. Under his left arm, a man and a woman grew forth, and from his legs a son was born. These were the first frost giants. Alongside Ymir, another creature formed from the melting ice. This was Autumnla, a giant cow. 4 rivers of milk flowed from her udders, providing nourishment for Ymir. Autumnla herself fed on the salty blocks of ice that flowed into Ginnungagap. As Autumnla licked the melting ice, something began to emerge. On the first day, hair appeared. On the second day, a head emerged from the ice. On the third day, a complete being was freed. This was Buri, the first of the Aesir gods. He was handsome and strong. Buri had a son named Bor. Bor married Bestla, the daughter of a giant. Together, Bor and Bestla had 3 sons, Odin, Vili, and Ve. These were the first of the ruling gods. The sons of Bor looked upon the world and saw only the giant Ymir and his monstrous offspring. They decided that a new order was needed. Odin, Vili, and Ve attacked and killed the ancient giant Ymir. This was the first great act of creation. So much blood flowed from Ymir's wounds that it drowned nearly all the frost giants, except for Hvergelmir and his wife, who escaped in a hollowed-out tree trunk. From Ymir's vast body, the 3 brothers fashioned the world. They dragged his corpse into Ginnungagap. His flesh became the land, the solid earth upon which we walk. His blood became the seas and lakes surrounding the land. His bones became the mountains and cliffs rising high above the plains. His teeth and shattered jawbones became the rocks and pebbles scattered across the earth. The brothers lifted Ymir's skull and placed it above the earth. This became the dome of the sky. 4 dwarves, named Nordri, Sudri, Austri, and Vestri, were placed at the 4 corners of the earth to hold the skull aloft. From Ymir's brains, they created the clouds, drifting across the sky. One day, the sons of Bor walked along the shoreline of the world they'd created and found 2 logs washed up from the sea. They decided to give them life. Odin gave them spirit and life. Vili gave them understanding and movement. Ve gave them form, speech, hearing, and sight. The first man was named Ask, and the first woman was named Embla. From them came all humankind. The gods then took the sparks and glowing embers that flew from Muspelheim. They placed them in the sky to become the stars, sun, and moon. They set the paths for the sun and moon, pulled by chariots to mark the passage of the days, the nights, and the seasons. They built a great wall from Ymir's eyebrows to protect the realm of humans, Midgard, from the giants. For themselves, the gods built their home, Asgard, high above the world. Thus, from the body of the first giant, Ymir, the world was made by the hands of the first gods, Odin, Vili, and Ve. This is the story of creation as told in the ancient tales, a world born from the clash of fire and ice and shaped by divine will. The source. This story comes from the Edda, a collection of Old Norse literature. There are 2 versions of the work, the Prose Edda and the Poetic Edda. The Prose Edda, written by Snorri Sturluson around 1220, is the definitive handbook of Norse mythology. The Poetic Edda is a collection of Old Norse mythological and heroic poems, primarily preserved in the Codex Regius, a medieval manuscript from the 13th century. Unlike the Prose Edda, the Poetic Edda consists of anonymous poems that were passed down orally for centuries before being written down.